History's greatest mysteries that could change everything. Introduction. Throughout history, we've accepted certain things as fact. Unchangeable, undeniable truths passed down through generations. But what if some of those facts are actually unsolved riddles? Beneath the surface of historical records lie puzzles so profound, so disruptive, that if solved, they could rewrite parts of human history. Today, we'll dive into 3 such mysteries. One questions the authorship of the greatest literary works ever written. Another involves a manuscript written in an unknown language no one has been able to decipher. And the last, an ancient device so sophisticated that it defies our assumptions about the technology of the ancient world. Who really wrote Shakespeare? For centuries, the world has revered William Shakespeare as the greatest playwright in the English language. Born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, he is credited with writing 37 plays and 154 sonnets. His works reflect deep knowledge of law, foreign languages, classical literature, courtly etiquette, and even medicine. But here's the twist. Many scholars, past and present, have questioned whether the man from Stratford really wrote all those works. The main argument centers on Shakespeare's modest background. He had a basic grammar school education, and there is little evidence that he traveled abroad or received higher education. Yet his plays are filled with references to court politics, Italian cities, and aristocratic culture. Could someone with no university education and no known travel history have possessed such insights? Over the years, alternative candidates have been proposed as the real author behind the name. One of the most popular is Edward de Vere, the 17th Earl of Oxford. De Vere was a nobleman, poet, and known playwright in Elizabethan England. He had the education, the access to court life, and the literary background to plausibly write Shakespeare's plays. Supporters of this theory point to striking similarities between events in Oxford's life and themes found in the plays. Another contender is Francis Bacon, a philosopher and scientist known for his intellect and coded writing. Some believe that hidden messages and patterns in the texts link Bacon to the works of Shakespeare. A third theory proposes Christopher Marlowe, a playwright and poet believed to have died in a mysterious stabbing in 1593. Some believe Marlowe faked his death and continued to write under Shakespeare's name. There are even those who argue that a woman, Amelia Lanier, a poet and contemporary of Shakespeare, may have authored or contributed to the works, particularly those that show unusual insight into female psychology. So, why hasn't the literary world accepted these alternatives? The answer lies in documentation. Shakespeare's name appears on title pages of plays published during his lifetime. There are business records linking him to the London theatre scene, and several of his contemporaries, including Ben Jonson, explicitly praised his work. There's no comparable evidence for the other candidates. Still, the debate persists. Those who believe in alternative authorship argue that Shakespeare was a pen name, perhaps for a more educated, elite figure who wanted anonymity. If this were ever proven definitively, it would mean the greatest literary works in English were not written by the man we've always believed. The ripple effects in literature, history, and culture would be enormous. The Voynich Manuscript. Now, imagine opening a book that no one can read. A book written in an unknown alphabet, using unknown grammar, filled with strange illustrations of plants, cosmology, and naked women bathing in mysterious green pools. That book exists. It's called the Voynich Manuscript, and for more than a century, it has defied every attempt at translation. The manuscript was rediscovered in 1912 by a rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich. Scientific analysis dates it to the early 15th century, probably between 1404 and 1438. It contains around 240 vellum pages, although some are missing. What makes it extraordinary is the script. The text is written in a language that doesn't exist anywhere else. made up of characters that don't match any known writing system. The manuscript is divided into sections, judging by the illustrations. One appears botanical, showing plants, many of which are unidentifiable. Another has diagrams that resemble star charts and zodiac symbols. There's a section that appears medical or anatomical, with drawings of women interacting with complex tubes and pools. There are also pages filled with what look like recipes, accompanied by small star-like symbols. Over the decades, countless scholars, linguists, and cryptographers, including code breakers from both world wars, have attempted to decipher it. All have failed. Some believe the text is a highly complex cipher. Others think it may be an artificial language created to mimic the patterns of real language without actually meaning anything. Some skeptics have argued that the manuscript is a hoax, an elaborate medieval joke meant to confuse or impress. But that theory has lost credibility. Statistical analysis of the text has shown that the distribution of characters follows patterns found in real languages, which would be difficult to fake. Recently, advances in imaging technology have revealed new details. Multiple scribes may have contributed to the book. Researchers have identified at least 5 different handwriting styles, suggesting the manuscript was a collaborative work. In 2024 and 2025, several new decoding methods were proposed, including one based on linguistic pattern recognition and another using artificial intelligence. One study suggested that some symbols may represent syllables in a language now lost. Still, the manuscript remains unreadable. No one knows who wrote it, where it was written, or what it means. Some speculate it's a lost pharmacological manual. Others believe it contains alchemical or esoteric knowledge. Until the code is cracked, the Voynich Manuscript remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of written history. The Antikythera Mechanism. Our third mystery takes us even further back in time, to ancient Greece. In 1901, sponge divers exploring a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera discovered something astonishing: a corroded lump of bronze and wood that turned out to be the remains of a mechanical device. It would later be called the Antikythera Mechanism, and it is perhaps the most technologically advanced artifact from the ancient world. At first, archaeologists didn't know what to make of it, but as they carefully separated the corroded fragments, gears began to emerge, gears with teeth, dials, and inscriptions. It soon became clear that this was no ordinary object. The device had at least 30 bronze gears and a complex system of rotating dials. Radiocarbon dating and stylistic analysis place it around 100 BCE. What was it for? The answer came slowly, over decades of research. The Antikythera Mechanism is now understood to be an analog computer, built to predict astronomical events. It could track the positions of the sun and moon, predict solar and lunar eclipses, and even model the irregular orbit of the moon using a differential gear. A mechanism thought to have been invented over 1,000 years later. The front of the device displayed the zodiac and calendar cycles. The back had spiral dials tracking eclipse cycles and the timing of major athletic events like the ancient Olympic Games. It was, in essence, a mechanical model of the cosmos, created centuries before the invention of clocks as we know them. What makes the Antikythera Mechanism so mysterious is not just its complexity, but the fact that nothing else like it has ever been found from antiquity. It seems to have had no predecessors and no successors for more than 1,000 years. How did the ancient Greeks develop such advanced technology? And why was it lost? Some recent studies using 3D imaging and computer modeling have attempted to reconstruct the full design. A 2025 study found that the device may have been prone to jamming due to small mechanical imperfections, but this likely occurred because of corrosion, not the original design. Some researchers speculate that the mechanism was a prototype, or one of a kind. Others believe there may have been an entire tradition of Greek mechanical engineering, that disappeared due to war, natural disaster, or cultural collapse. The Antikythera Mechanism challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. It shows a level of mechanical sophistication that wouldn't appear again until the 14th century. If similar devices were ever found or built again, they could reshape our understanding of technological development in the ancient world. Conclusion. These three mysteries, the authorship of Shakespeare, the secrets of the Voynich Manuscript, and the workings of the Antikythera Mechanism, stand as reminders that history is never complete. There are still gaps, shadows, and unanswered questions in our understanding of the past. Each mystery challenges our assumptions. Could the most celebrated writer in the English language have been someone else entirely? Could a medieval book hold forgotten knowledge encoded in an uncrackable language? Could the ancient world have possessed technology far beyond what we believed possible? We may one day find the missing proof, a lost manuscript, a newly discovered translation, or a buried artifact that tips the balance from speculation to certainty. Until then, these mysteries continue to fuel our curiosity, reminding us that history isn't just about what we know. It's about what we're still learning to discover.